Hello everyone, welcome to Cyber Cluster. So in this module, we will be seeing about the cryptography basics. So let's get started. So first of all, before starting the presentation, we will see what all the topics will be covered in this session. In this session, we will see the basics about the cryptography. Then after that, we will see what security principles it has. Then after that, what all the security primitives it holds. Then we will be seeing what is crypto system basically. Then we will be seeing the attacks. These are imposed on the crypto system. Then after that, how to prevent these attacks. Uh, so we will be seeing the other. We will be seeing the encryption mechanisms by the example. Yeah. So first of all, see what is cryptology. So cryptology means it's a study of crypto systems. So it is basically classified as cryptography and cryptanalysis. So what is cryptography? Yeah, cryptography means it's nothing but making the crypto system just for information security. So it is actually like yeah, definition tells it is the art of science and making a crypto system that is capable of providing information security. Uh, so cryptography basically it's used just for security purposes, like for securing the digital data. These all are designed by the mathematical algorithms and some formulas and all. So, so that unauthorized person can't read the confidential information. Now, moving on to the crypto systems. A crypto system itself is the mechanisms how we design for cryptography. So these are all the design mechanisms of cryptography. Now, what is cryptanalysis? So, cryptanalysis is basically studying of these mechanisms just to break these systems. So, if there is any mechanism used for cryptography, there should be definitely a mechanism to know about that, so that we can decrypt and we can learn about that, and we can get the actual information. So, this is called cryptanalysis. Now, security principles. So, basically, these are all the security principles involved. So, we all know like yeah, basic security concepts or a need of cyber security itself is basically CIA standards, which is like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And having said that, these three are the basic principle. This doesn't mean like only these three are the major security principle. Along with that, we do have some other information like authentication and non-repudiation. So I will discuss with you what these stands for. So confidentiality means these information should be protected from the unauthorized person, or else there may be some attacks happen, or there can be a threat which can occur due to this. So we use encryption methods to prevent from confidentiality to prevent the confidential information from unauthorized users. Then after that, moving to data integrity. So data integrity basically like whenever there is any alteration of data, or whenever there is any modification of data, this security service specifically it detects that, so that like no other person can change the data that easily. So this is data integrity. Then what is availability is basically it is always accessible by the authorized user when it is needed. No authorized user should be like left alone, or no authorized user should face any access issues and all. And this prevents from denial of service attacks. Coming to authentication. So authentication is basically like if there is any conversation going on between A and B, say suppose A sends message to B should be believing that the message has really sent by A only. So the method, the message that it is coming from a verified sender, it stands that this is the authentication process. And now coming to non-repudiation process. In non-repudiation process, basically like it's actually like no one can take some credit on something. No one can take ownership on uh, and some other person's thing. Or even there is one more method of non-repudiation where like if suppose a person has made some mistake or some action, that action makes the ownership that only he did that action, so that like it won't be a blame to other person. So non-repudiation means it will be giving a clear idea that whatever actions did or whatever actions you need to do, that ownership is decided at the initial stage itself. That is what is non-repudiation. Now coming to security primitives. So security primitives is basically like so if you see a cryptography, by doing the analysis of cryptography, we can do following security services. So well, one services will be like encryption. Then we have hash functions, we have message authentication codes, we have digital signatures. So if you see encryption is, as I told you earlier, encryption is used for confidentiality purpose, whereas if you see hash functions are used for data integrity, and message authentication code is used for authentication purpose. Digital signature is used for authentication as well, and also it is used for message integrity. So these are all the concepts or security services cryptography uses for. So I will tell you the method. I will tell you what it is basically. So as I said earlier, encryption is used for confidentiality purpose. So it protects the data by keeping the password or by keeping the code and all, so that unauthorized users then cannot get the information directly. And hash functions is basically like just for data integrity purpose, we are having hash functions where there will be a value generated for each and every information. If any if there is any alteration of the data, the value changes. By that we can identify whether uh, whether there is any data has been manipulated or not. One more thing that I want to tell you, it's like data integrity cannot prevent cannot prevent the alteration of data, but can detect the alteration of data. Okay. So message authentication codes, if you see, it's basically like just for data integrity purpose and authenticity purpose. It will be telling you like where exactly whether the message has exactly came from the authenticated source or not. Then digital signatures are like our usual signature, but in this it is an electronic signature where like it helps verify whether it has come from the right user, and whether these messages are like whether these messages have uh, yeah, integrity issue. So these are all the contents we need. And if you see for encryption, it will just deal with only the confidentiality purpose. Whereas if you see hash function, it will just deal with integrity purpose. And in math, it will be just it is dealing integrity also, and it deals with authentication, and sometimes it deals with non-reputation also. So math is a good functionality for three security services. And digital signature, if you see, same, it deals with integrity, authentication, and non-reputation. So math and digital signature has multiple mechanisms. Yep. Now coming to crypto system. As I told you earlier, so crypto system is basically like the design mechanisms, we can tell, or the techniques what all we use for making the cryptography to protect the information, or to provide information security. That is what is called as crypto system. So we have multiple components in crypto system, like we have plain text encryption, ciphertext, decryption, encryption key, decryption key. So if a sender, I will just give you with I will just tell you what all these concepts refers to with an example. Say suppose a sender is sending the plain text message to receiver. So how he will be sending? It's like he will be sending using an encryption algorithm. So this encryption algorithm means it will be having, it is a process where this plain text is converted to a ciphertext with the help of encryption key, and this will be giving the ciphertext. Basically a person, whoever it is, like other than the receiver, if suppose a message is seen by an interceptor or by an intruder, they can just see the ciphertext, they can't see the actual text. Ciphertext will be like the scrambled version, or it will be like a gibberish or code, something which is not actual plain text. So a person can't understand what the actual message is by just seeing the ciphertext. And this message will be going to the receiver, where the receiver has a mechanism of decryption algorithm. In the decryption algorithm, he uses the process where he gets the ciphertext, and he uses a decryption key to decrypt the message. So so this is the stage where he gets back the same plain text what the sender has sent, and without any man in the middle attack or any other denial attack. So this is actually the components of crypto system. And yeah, so as I told you earlier, like and I would have discussed with you few mechanisms or a few attacks where, like the man in the middle attack, I have mentioned what it is, an intruder attack, denial of service attack, and so on. So coming to crypto system attacks, basically like these type of attacks, sorry, these are the general types of attacks, where the intruder attacks the crypto system to get the information from the confidential purpose. Yeah. So we are classifying this crypto system attacks into two types. There are numerous attacks. For just for an early perspective, I'm just classifying into two, as passive and active. So what is a passive attack basically? So a passive attack is basically like getting the unauthorized access of the information. So so if suppose two persons are communicating either by phone or either by email or either in person, there may be a chance that the attacker can get that information by intercepting in middle, or by listening to the conversation in middle, or eavesdropping. So these all attacks are like passive attacks. These are all like because of his ability, or because of his over powering, he just came in middle and getting the detail. But active attack, these are all dangerous attacks when compared to stealing the information, or when compared to stealing the device, or doing the other stuff. But these can be rectified as well. But when come to active attacks, it will be like it will be more complex than passive attacks, where information is being taken and then modified. In passive attacks, only the information is being taken, but whereas in active attacks, the information is being altered, or in the information has been deleted or something. So this will be more complex than passive attacks, because most of the people won't be aware in whether the data has been taken. If the data is missing, it can be identified at the initial stage itself. Whereas if the data has been taken and it has been altered, it is very difficult to identify at the initial stage. It needs we need to check the data integrity, we need to check the authentication codes, everything. So at the initial stage, it's little odd job for active attacks to be found out. So the attacks, few attacks of active attacks can be denial of service attacks, or the information has been deleted, the information has been updated in the actual list. So these all attacks will be the active attacks. And so now we have seen the attacks, basic attacks happening in crypto system. So how to protect this? So basic protection of this, uh, basic protection of these attacks will be the encryption. As I said earlier, there are like four basic types like encryption, then hash, MAC. So these are all the security services cryptography does, but encryption plays the major important role because if you keep your confidential information protected first, then you can that is your primary job. So always try to keep your encryption mechanisms strong. So this is what I would suggest. So we will see what is this what encryption mechanisms we have in real life. So we basically have two types of encryption mechanisms. One is symmetric key, and one more is asymmetric key. So a symmetric key where the same keys are used for both encrypting and decrypting the message. So where it is also known as the secret key and private secret key or a private key crypto systems. So we have a real-time examples like the DES, triple A, 3DES, yeah, IDEA, then AES like that and all. So these are all the symmetric key encryption. So I will just explain you this concept. So before sharing the information, a sender and a recipient would have made a in-person conversation or a confidential mode of communication. They would have exchanged the shared key. So they will be having the same shared key in as a common. So this only a sender knows and the recipient knows. No other person will be knowing this shared key. So whenever they are sending the message, they will encrypt it using that shared key, and he will be sending it to the receiver. So attacker attacker can't see the ciphertext with attacker can see the ciphertext, but he can't see the actual information because he doesn't have that key with him. So then it will be going to the recipient, and the recipient will be decrypting the ciphertext using the same key, and he will be getting the plain text back. So this is what is that. But there is one drawback in that. What if any other person in middle knows the same shared key as well, like recipient or sender, when they are exchanging the keys, or when they are like communicating the shared key with each other? What if any intruder listens to this, or eavesdrops that? So there the problem arises. So for this we have one more encryption mechanism, which is called asymmetric key encryption, where different keys are used for both encrypting and decrypting the information. So this is called public key encryption. For so as I said earlier, for encryption, as I said earlier, these uses different keys. This means like for encryption we have one key, and for decryption we have one key. So this is what it's the thing. And so same way like so there are like in this mechanism there is one private key and one public key. A private key will always be with the receiver, and a public key will always be with the sender. So whenever sender sends message to recipient, so what a sender will do, it's like he will encrypt the message with the public key, then he will be sending it to he will be sending it to he will be sending it to receiver, and the receiver will just receive the message, and he will do decryption with the help of private key. And once he decrypt it, he gets back the actual plain text. So this is how the entire flow works. Even though if the attacker can figure out the public key, it's very hard for him to decrypt, because for decryption we need private key, not a public key. And asymmetric key encryption is the most secured way of encryption, because we not only this kind of public key and private key, these mechanism, uh, we have like we have like more we have used more mathematical relations for building this encryption. So this is what is the this is the most secured when come to encryption mechanisms. Thank you.